Well, we
Come on,
got
baby.
rookies in camp, guys. Look at that. And we got practice going on. What's
We
going
do.
on,
We do. We got us a rookie there in Brian's lap. A little bit on the developmental project, you know.
Murphy! Hello, Murphy! How was y'all day today?
Pretty good.
That's
Yeah, it
good.
was good. I got like all my work done. Uh, my daughter actually comes back to town from Belize tomorrow night because her brother-in-law is getting married, so she's gonna be back for a while. That's gonna be nice.
That'll be fun.
Can't wait. You know.
Um,
But yeah, so it's Tuesday, guys. You know, and it's officially Taco Tuesday because we signed Taco Charlton. So that I don't know if John Lynch was trying to do that or not. I kind of think he was.
uh,
Yeah, we he's supposed to
he's
be
probably
fast
telling.
too.
Uh, well, I got some good news today.
What's that?
I got some good news today. Um, when I did my procedure today at the hospital, they look like they fixed it. I might not have to have my second surgery, but my third surgery. Really, on the 18th. So
Sweet. That's really good
that's
news.
good news. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. We got the chat. We got CarCast and
Yep.
Mrs. Colt.
Probably gonna be hard to get a lot of people because you got John Jay going
Everyone's
live.
everyone's live right now, buddy,
Yep,
because of
John
training camp.
Jay. John Jay is
So
live, and then Niners sickness and somebody they went live at 7:30.
everybody there's like six channels hooked to one right now. They're all doing the same stream. So it might truly be hard to get, some faithful over here, but that's all right. That's all right. They're already watching a show, right?
Um. So, have you heard anything how the quarterbacks did today?
I heard Trey Lance was on fire. I heard he was on fire. He hit 9 out of 10 passes. Um, I think the one he missed was actually a drop by the wide receiver.
Okay.
So he's doing he's doing
Damian
he's
Lee.
doing pretty good.
Damian
Oh,
Lee's in the chat.
what's up, buddy? Yep. Yeah, he's
All right, I had to go and I had to go put Murphy give him the mom for a minute, and I'm back, guys. We got Damien here. What's up, Damien?
so me and Damien were talking earlier, and there's a bit of an issue going on. We both realized, and what it involves is what type of movies we both have. Right? We're both single men, and I went through all of my movies, and I realized I might have one girly movie. One. I'm going, huh? You know, but it's like trying to figure out what a good chick flick is too, though. Something that's not bad for a guy to watch. There's kind of a dilemma going on there, you know. Hmm.
Girls at my house, they like watching this horse show, and I keep telling them, "Oh my gosh," because like we watched it one time and it was like an hour and a half, and I'm like, "This is a show or a movie?" And they're, "Oh no, this was the series premiere, or it was something weird," And I'm like, "So it's how long are normal shows?" And then I'll start doing something, and I come back, and I'm like, "You guys are still watching this horse show, huh?" And they're like, "Oh, we like it, Dad." And I'm like, "So there's stuff. I'll send you a little list here soon, David. I'm sure there's some girly movies I can send you."
So,
That's
how do
funny.
you hear anything about the kickers today?
I heard Jake Moody missed one.
Uh,
Well,
I don't.
that's expected. That's expected. They can't hit them all, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I heard that Zane Gonzalez did pretty good, but at the same time, I've been saying the whole time if those guys are on a level field, like if they're right neck and neck, it's going to be Jake Moody because we got him on the cheap for 4 years.
Yep.
And Zane Gonzalez would just be a 1 year, seventh round pick swap type of deal. So
yeah. I heard Zane did really good. He hit like a 43, a 53, or something like that, and I'm not sure what the other one was. And then I'm not sure the exact distance. I read on Twitter it was 57. I think Bebop he put it down as 60, a couple yards, but it was really had a lot of leg and distance. So Moody definitely put up between a 57, 60 yarder, and it could have went further. So he's got a leg. He's got a leg.
Um. So, what you think John Lynch said to Nick Bosa about his holdout?
What do you think, David?
I honestly think he told Nick Bosa, relax, do your thing. We know you're ready to go. We'll work this out because I mean, right now that they just signed another defensive end. You know, shout out to Taco Tuesday. That's going to be the guy's nickname because he was signed on Taco Tuesday. So that's it. That's what I'm going to call him if he makes the team the whole rest of the season. But but yeah, we're able to have one more guy on the 90-man roster without him here, a guy we know is going to make it. So, get a chance to take a look at another player or two, right?
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer to cut date, and with him not being here, we definitely need somebody to be able to step in. I don't think Lynch is really worried about Bosa not coming. I think they know there's a date coming. I think they both kind of know exactly when they're going to sign because it just makes sense. Like maybe he's still got something going on in Florida. Maybe he's still training. They definitely know he's not sitting there playing Call of Duty. So, they're not too worried about him. I think the closer it gets to, preseason, actual games is going to get more noise. And then when it gets closer to the start of the season, people are going to make a lot of noise because they're going to be like, oh, is he not going to get signed? And then for the amount that he wants or doesn't want, or we don't want to pay him, like, I don't care really what he gets paid. I just want him signed. So
Yeah,
sign him
me
for a
too.
couple good years.
I'm just wondering what's the hold up right now. What's keeping them? Is it the bonus keeping them? Is the word of the contract keeping them from signing? What's the hold up? Or is it already really signed? They just like, shh, we gonna make the fans worry about this. Like we doing with the quarterbacks. We're not gonna tell them yet. Shh.
I think that's potentially a possibility. Like they already, again, they kind of know when they're signing. They know what the deal is going to be, but they're going to make it historic or they're going to do it on a certain date to make it, maybe they're just waiting for the guarantees to come through too. Maybe he's not really set on a certain number, but he wants the exact guarantees. He wants his money, to be there. So, what do you think, David?
I honestly think that it's could be the language of the contract they're working out. Could be the guaranteed money they're negotiating over. I'm pretty sure that they already said, all right, this is what we're offering, and his agent probably said annually that's pretty good, but what kind of guaranteed money are we talking about? What kind of injury guarantees, opt out clause, blah blah. All no trade clause, all that
Yeah.
is in the negotiation. So I do expect this to take a minute.
Yep.
Shout out to my facial hair; it's actually coming back pretty fast.
So,
uh,
what you guys think thoughts again about the fights and stuff that was happening, the training fight?
Elijah Mitchell and Flanagan Fowles got into it today, and it's just one of those things.
it's one of those things that they go through when they both angry inside. No, I'm just playing. Just
Thing.
fights always happen at the camps. You know, Warner and and how
Ayuk.
you got into it last camp.
Yep.
No border sports. What's up? What's up,
I
Spotlight?
think I think what
Uh,
wasn't there another tussle like last week? I think something else happened last week between the offense and defense, and it's just it's a sport. It happens. You know, we're physical. We're guys are passionate about what they're doing, and yeah, they're gonna blow up at each other every now and again.
And I kind of think it's like a little brother thing, too, or brothers. You don't have to say little brothers because sometimes your little brother gets the better of you. Well, they shouldn't ever, but sometimes it happens. I got a brother pretty close to my age, so um, looking at it, you guys think like you want to like push the guy a little bit, so he pushes you back. So you're like, hey, don't let somebody out there on another team punk you. Don't let him just take you to the back shed and stuff. So I'm going to play rough with you, and I want to see you get rough back because I need to see you can handle it. So I think it is a coming of age for some players, or getting them out. Getting the jitters and the butterflies out. Like don't be afraid to hit somebody. I think there was some kind of statement or some kind of some not maybe a statement, but somebody said something the other day, and the defense just kept knocking Mitchell on his butt the rest of the day. Every run he
yeah,
had, he just kept getting laid out on his rear. And you guys know Mitchell when he runs the ball, he falls forward. He doesn't really get stood up. And defense grew a backbone. And the offense is only going to get better for it.
yeah. I heard one of the linebackers out. They didn't say who slammed Elijah on the ground, and that probably was them two flagging foes probably slammed him, and Elijah like, what? You hit me like that, and they got into it. I'm injury prone.
I got a question for everybody. What's your thoughts, David? What's your thoughts, Corey, with the Jalen Hurd sudden retirement?
Jalen hurt. Oh, the wide receiver that we used to have.
Yeah, he went to the Patriots and then he retired.
Of course, that's what he should do because if you can't be healthy, you gotta retire. You gotta say I gotta retire. I can't do it no more. I won't because it probably was he can't walk as good. He said he like you talking about. I want to play with my children, my grandchildren. He probably like I want to be able to play with my. I don't know if he had kids, but
Yeah.
you know I want to be able to play with my children. Same thing. That's what I'm thinking of with what's his name that's out there. He's a free agent, but he should be saying he retire. Um, oh, why I can't think of his name. Our defensive back that was last season hurt. Uh, came from Chargers.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, now it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh.
Jason Verrett.
Ferret, the
Yeah,
Corvette. Yep.
yep. You know, injured prone, injured, always injured. So it's time. Sometimes you might say, "Football's not me." God's trying to tell me something, trying to tell me that I shouldn't be out here playing no more.
So Jalen Hurd seriously retired. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to look this up.
I'm not laughing because like putting him down or anything. It's just like he came back into the league and he didn't stay very long. It was only like a week, I think, or maybe even less than that. But maybe he got hit or stretched, or just maybe he did. Damien says here Belichick hurt his feelings, so maybe that's what happened. So
Wow,
David Corona.
that makes me wonder if he got hurt again, and he's
yeah,
just like, I'm done. And he just said, I'm done. There's no way.
Yep.
Chances are that's exactly what happened.
you stretch wrong or you get hit wrong, and just a little bit and it jars you. I think when he came to our team, he was suffering from already having a back injury,
Yep.
or actually having a broken back, and then he healed, and then he came to our, he was still on our team. But I won't forget, didn't he score the 2 touchdowns? Or not, maybe I'm
Yep.
forgetting. In the preseason game against the
Yep.
Cowboys.
Yep. And then he didn't start the season. We was looking forward to it. And that's the reason why he switched from running back to wide receiver. Excuse me. So he won't get hurt. He said, and he wanted to play longer in the NFL. So that's why he switched to wide receiver. But God told him. God probably said, "No matter. Your body's not made for this. It's time for you to give it up."
Well, apparently it was more than Elijah Mitchell and Flanagan Fowles. That was the Flanagan Fowles came in and hit Elijah Mitchell, and then a fight broke out. That's not naming all the players, but Tay Martin walked away with his helmet ripped off.
Uh,
So, come on, guys. We all play on the same team.
yep. It happens. It always happens. They always get in a fight, but then they fight on the field. But when they get back in the locker room, they all buddies and brothers and sisters. They probably talk it out. Coach probably went in there and told them, "What's up, Aaron? 49 first take."
Yep. Guys in the chat.
Yeah, there's a lot of good information coming out. Sounds like Trey Lance had a really good day today. Um, sounds like Brandon Allen had a really good day today. Brock Purdy had a Brock Purdy day, not too bad, not too good. They are saying he's missing the deep throws, what I heard, but he's doing good in the underneath. The
Yeah.
gimmies or whatever. But linebackers and players are dropping his interceptions. So, and they're saying he's holding the ball too long and could get, they consider that a sack. But then Sam Darnold, he had his worst day. Worst day. That's what I heard today. So, everybody can bounce back, but Trey
Yep.
Lance was looking really good today, they said.
9 out of 10. I don't know if he's actually had it. Like someone was saying, oh, he missed 3 passes in a row this day and this, and it's like, you know what? Right now he's playing like the best quarterback in camp. And what's Kyle going to do? He always rolls with the hot hand. So if this keeps up, Trey comes in some preseason games and tears it up.
Yeah.
What's he? And Brock still. Honestly, I think Brock just isn't ready to actually play right now. He's still recovering from that injury. They have him on a schedule. You know, and that might be what we're seeing is he didn't get to throw the football all off season like normal QBs do. And he's got to get back in his rhythm. He's got to get back to doing his thing. That's probably what we're seeing. And rolling into week 1, if Brock hasn't come around, is Kyle still going to roll with him? This is all yet to be seen. But right now Trey Lance is the best QB in camp.
Okay, I got a question and be truthful. Okay, uh, looking at the quarterbacks now, look at what they did, what you seen with your own eyes, not what you heard, what you seen with your own eyes. Who's the starter?
Hmm. No, that's kind of hard because you got to be able to see and hear, Yeah. But see, I can't really answer that because I believe what David said, and we've talked about it before. I think they should, bring Brock Purdy in slow. If he's the starter and he's your franchise that they, are kind of alluding to, then let's bring him in slow. Let Trey Lance have a chance. And let Brock Purdy sit there, not sit, but, and get cold, but let's let him, come back in and come in when he needs to, right? You have Sam Darnold, and I've been seeing a lot of footage on him. He seems to be throwing the ball pretty decent. They seem to say, he's got zip on the ball. He can throw it just as far as not Brock Purdy, Trey Lance. So I'm actually really excited about him. And then on a different team, I know, like he's had 55 starts and there's a lot of problems, but I think he could do really well. And then every once in a while, like it's kind of with Brandon Allen, they say back and forth. Like yesterday he had a bad day, but today he had a really good day. So it's like, what are they trying to say? Are they just trying to say we're going to keep all the quarterbacks? So for me right now, I kind of feel like we're keeping all of them. I don't know how we're going to keep Brandon Allen. I think he'll go practice squad, but I would put Brock Purdy, not put him first or second, but I would put Trey Lance and Sam Darnold more at the helm and say you guys are playing for week 1, so let's see it in camp. That's what I'm saying. And for as far as Trey Lance, he looks really good every time they're throwing the ball and stuff like that. And he's out there. He looks confident. I know they said a couple days ago that he had missed some passes and turned his head and didn't look like he was very happy with himself. That happens, and people's actions and stuff. A lot of people can judge people's actions and say, "Oh, make points and stuff." I don't think we can really do that. This is, this guy's still shaking it out. Maybe he's doing something in his head and just it's kind of nerve wracking too. You're practicing in front of a bunch of people and they're all there really, really watching only you. So, I mean, I know it's like same situation for a game, but game's a little different. There's, I don't know, maybe more smells and, more things to eat, I don't know, beer, I don't know, but for this preseason, everybody, this training camp, everybody's going there to watch the quarterbacks. we joke and say it's the kicker competition, but they're going for the quarterbacks.
Um,
Well,
let me.
I'm still the offensive line though. Colton McKivitz. I've read many reports, and this is people that have reported things both ways. Like someone saying, "Oh, this guy didn't do good," but at the same time, someone saying this guy did really good. This guy did bad. I've seen all the same guys reporting that McKivitz looks better with pads on. So I read a lot into that today while I was at work doing forklift training. So yeah, it was actually that's an interesting story I'll get into in a minute. But yeah, and I was like going, they're all saying this. Like, honestly, I think McKivitz is a better pass blocker than McGlinchey was. But run blocking, yeah, McGlinchey, he did his thing, but at the same time, you know, we got Trent Williams and Aaron Banks, so that left side is going to be wrecked all season. We know that. And then we got Burford, who did pretty good last year, but he's a rookie, and he's going to get better as he goes. So, my biggest concern is center. I still don't have faith in Brenda. A lot of people do, and I can't blame them. But I still don't have faith in the guy. He was a 7, 8 year veteran in the league before he got the chance to start. That doesn't say much. And then we go out and we sign Feliciano, who has started at center and guard. You know, maybe to compete with him, maybe to push him to make him better, maybe to take the starting spot. I mean, this is all yet to be seen. But I want to see me some Zakel over there at right tackle, though. The guy is athletic and he's built like a tackle. But that's just me.
Uh, Let me just put my question that as a little better. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to say which quarterback out of Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, is Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, that you see that you know that win games.
We know that Purdy can win games. He proved that last year. And a lot of people were putting up the stats for his TDs and his interceptions that they were as good, if not better, than Mahomes, and things like that. But his yards per game wasn't necessarily anything staggering. He was doing what he had to do. He was running the offense. We're a run first team. But look at all these weapons he's got to feed. This offense should be our quarterback should be averaging 300 yards a game with these guys. And I'm just hoping to see some changes here and there. But at the same time, we got CMC, we got Elijah Mitchell, which honestly I don't trust him yet. We'll see how this goes this season. With JP Mason or Jordan Mason, he has had fumbleitis. That's kind of a big issue.
Big issue.
But
Kyle's
what my point is, with all these weapons, these guys, I honestly believe we can win with both. But Purdy has proved he can win.
Yeah. And that's what I was getting at. Yes, Trey ceiling is high. We know that, but with my eyes, I saw Brock Purdy do what he did, so I have a little bit more confidence in Brock Purdy right now, and then I have in Trey Lance. Get me wrong, I want to see Trey Lance succeed. I'm hoping he can come out there, but I feel more comfortable with Brock Purdy because I've seen what Brock Purdy could do. I only seen one good example what Trey Lance could do, and that was two
Houston
seasons
Texans.
ago, Houston, Texas. So,
Well, I don't want to take anything away from Trey Lance, but I do want to make a point. The preseason game where he hit Sherfield, and he ran all the way down. Like it was a preseason game, Kansas City Chiefs, and Trey Lance just boom threw it straight down to him. I think that's the best example of his abilities. He just dropped back, boom, threw it, and the guy caught it, touchdown. It was that quick. The reason I bring that point up is the Texan game. Debo had to make an athletic move. He cut it, and then what was it, a post all the way in for a touchdown? He cut into the center of the field and ran. We've seen that kind of stuff with Jimmy too, where I think it was the Detroit Lion game where Debo had to come back for the ball, and then he got underneath the guys and then out physicaled them and made it Debo like and scored. With Trey Lance, it's super exciting, because he does have the ability to bootleg out and do certain things. And Brock Purdy has that ability too. I don't know which one really is faster. And I think you have to ask two questions: who's got the fastest, like in a short amount of distance, and who's fastest, running the whole field. Because some guys run out of breath, and they just, they slow up. Some guys are, sprinters and then they slow up, So I think they say Brock Purdy can run really fast for a short distance, like he's got spurts. But I don't want to see any of our quarterbacks run up the middle anymore. That's not fun. I mean, like the only one that
Yeah.
we wanted to see do that was Jimmy, and that was a quarterback sneak. And David, I think you bring up a good point, like with the amount of passing yards that we get or the amount of it has to go to like the game Kyle is calling, because if he's handing the ball off the whole game, then we imagine our running backs are going to get a bunch of yards. But if he's doing like dink and dunks or passing, then I expect us to start explore, our offense getting more yards, and going there and scoring quicker. You guys know I like it when they keep the ball the whole quarter. I don't care if we win just by 28. If we score a touchdown in every quarter and have the ball the whole time, they can't do much, right? But you have to look out for those quarterbacks, like the ability like Trey Lance has, that can just come out for one play and throw it deep. And that's it. They can get you right back into the game within seconds. And I think that's what all of us are really kind of yearning for, because that's the stuff that Steve Young could do. And we really haven't had a quarterback since Steve Young who could do that. Jeff Garcia, he was good. He could throw the ball, but he could only throw the ball so far. And T.O. used to complain about it. T.O. had to do what Debo's doing now and make the yards after the catch and run. When he went to other teams, that's when we started seeing T.O. go vertical, and, Donovan McNabb, and Tony Romo style stuff like that, where he had a bigger quarterback with a bigger arm. So I'm very interested to see what happens with the quarterback situation. But right now, Corey, David, you're right. I think Brock Purdy's, he's proven, but I don't think it'll take us too much to be like, oh, Trey's the guy, because if he would have ran it into the corner of the end zone against the Cardinals and not got hit in the helmet and actually scored a touchdown, I think we would be like, oh, he's got a little bit more maturity about him. He can help you save his body. He's not trying to just, rough ride somebody into the end zone. He has to be smart and remember there's another play to come back to. It's like, you can't live and die on that play alone. But that comes with playing reps, and I think that's really the biggest difference between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, other than the arm strength. Brock Purdy's just had more starts at quarterback, in his life than Trey Lance has. Trey Lance might be, designed to be a quarterback and have those intangibles. So, again, I think, like you said, who's looking good. I think all of them are looking good. I really do. I think they're training them all to get ready to play.
Yeah.
So we have a question from our guy Damian Lee. Can Philip Rivers help our QB as a special console? He needs the money. 9 kids, one on the way.
I sure do think differently about Big Ben now, after hearing that the Niners was reaching out to him and he said no because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. I mean, I'm like, okay, I agree with that, but then, dude, you could have came to the Niners and you could have went to the Super Bowl that easy. You could have just handed the ball off pretty much. I mean, thrown the ball just a couple times but no, after saying that, and then now hearing that they reached out to Philip Rivers and wanted to know if he was ready, it's interesting. They definitely give Brock Purdy his chance last year.
Yep. So, I mean, the signing of Taco Charlton, on Taco Tuesday. Like I said, I'm calling him Taco Tuesday. That's his nickname. He's been branded by me. So that's what I'm calling him the whole season if he makes the team. But so the guy is 6'5", 270, and he's the prototypical first, second round draft pick that didn't work out for the team. The other team, So I'm wondering if Chris Kasarik is looking at him thinking, I could work with this. I mean, right now, Cleveland Farrell has been looking pretty good. And, Drake Jackson's doing Drake Jackson stuff. The man's so athletic. Steve Wilkes is actually dropping him back into coverage. So, that says a lot right there.
Yeah, looks like he was a cowboy. Originally, he was a cowboy, and then he went to the Saints. It looks like. Oh, he might have played for the. Yeah, he's been on a couple teams, David. He was
Yep.
on the Saints last year, and then he went to the Jaguars. He played in the playoffs last year. Oh, and he was a Bear. Yeah, everybody ends up being a Bear at one point or another, huh? It doesn't change anything. They're still terrible.
Well, if you need a job and they're the only ones offering, you take it, right?
Yep. He definitely take it.
Well, if y'all enjoy what y'all hearing today, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my man David McNiner's channel, please hit that subscribe button too.
David's got a good channel going, and he can definitely appreciate everybody coming. We got a good channel right now, good chat group, and yeah, David's gonna keep doing his thing here. Um, David, are you gonna try to figure out a scheduled day to do this, or is it just gonna kind of be up in the air for a little while? Either way, everybody, turn your notifications on.
Well, I normally purposely take Tuesdays off from YouTube, and just because Wednesday's been an off day, but we got to do the Copa McNiner show on a day, so that needs to happen because we're busy on Monday now.
Yeah,
So
we work.
yep, and so now we got. I don't know. I mean, do we have anyone scheduled for tomorrow night yet, Bryant?
We have two people in the air. I need to confirm one of them. I need to make sure whoever wants to come would definitely. And if not, we can definitely change it something up. But I had two yeses, so I need to find out which one wanted to wanted to say yes louder.
Well, maybe this time y'all can change it a little bit up.
Yeah, we
You
could.
got two yeses up. You got two yeses. Maybe have two guesses.
That I'll run it by both of them, see if they like that. So that might be fun.
I'd be down to have two guests. Why not?
Um,
Four seems just about right. When we get the big streams going on, it's kind of like you got to be organized madness, and then everyone gets their turn, and it gets a little crazy, but still happens, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get a timer, sort of like an egg timer, and just kind of be like right here in the background and everybody can see it count down. Be like, all right, buddy, that was really good, but we're going to the next guy. Big streams are fun. Big streams are fun when you got a lot of people on the panel, but yeah, everybody has to wait their turn.
uh, what was I thinking of? I was thinking about something. Uh, 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 uh.
Oh, another fun fact about Taco Tuesday. He's from Michigan. We got another Wolverine. Something weird about that Harbaugh and that Wolverine continuing to come to the Niners, huh?
Yep.
Ooh, look what I just discovered.
Mm-hmm. Yep, learning tricks.
Well, I didn't see. I missed up.
I was just playing with StreamYard because I've
Oh,
never really messed with StreamYard before. So I'm just figuring out how to actually place this, and now I know how.
Yeah, when you're behind the driver's seat, there's a couple more bells and whistles. There's a couple more levers to be able to push and turn and pull, which is really fun. We're going to go for maybe an hour, so a little bit longer. If anybody in the chat has anything that they'd like to ask or introduce to the panel, we can talk about that a little bit longer, or you can continue to stick around, and we always have something to say. But throw it out in the chat. Thank you again for coming, guys.
Um,
Okay, John.
Yeah, we see you.
Utah Utes reigning Pac-12 champions, buddy.
um, what receiver in the olden days, David McNair, you would compare to IU? You compare it to them.
I don't know. I mean, I would be thinking John Taylor at this point, because John Taylor, he was consistent. He had Jerry Rice right there to, take the coverage away though. And when it comes down to it, we have so many weapons. It's a who you gonna cover. That's just the flat out truth. When it comes, well, I want a quarterback that can throw deep. You know, I'm not saying Brock can't, but at this point in his recovery, he can't. I'm going to say that just from what we've seen in OTAs. But as he throws the ball around, gets his feet wet, gets stronger. We'll see what happens towards the end of preseason. But at this point, I actually read. I was reading up on all the QB performances just to keep myself updated on what's going on there. And Brock Purdy threw a couple passes that weren't held onto by the defensive backs and linebackers. So we all know what those would have been. But this is just practice, you know. And the guy is still coming back from from a major surgery. So, we gotta give him a break, right?
Yep.
So you said who would I compare Ayuk to?
Yep.
Does it have to be a 49er wide receiver or any wide receiver?
Um, any wide receivers, I guess I could say.
Ooh.
I was thinking two players, and I don't think the first one's the best. I'm going to tell you. I thought maybe a little bit like Tim Brown, maybe. And then I thought, no, that's not a very good analogy or comparison. So then I was thinking a little harder. Ocho Cinco?
Ocho Cinco without the big head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because he could catch really well. He could go deep. He could get the intermediate routes. He was pretty much an overall all. He was a number one, and I think that's what Ayuk is. I think that's what he can turn into be, and I think that's what he could be on really any other team too. It's kind of hard to say Debo's not number one on this team when you already give him the bag.
Damian Lee answered your question. And chat, you are more than welcome to answer the question. We want to hear what your guys' opinions are. But Damian Lee said Ayuk reminds him of Alvin Harper, the 49er killer from the Cowboys in the 90s.
Yep.
He used to beat us worse than Michael Irvin.
Yep.
Straight up.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember
that's
that.
me too. Cause I remember, that is defense made they had to make a switch. They had to cause at first they were double teaming Alvin Harper and put Dion on Michael Irvin, but they were still having trouble with Alvin Harper, so they switched it. They put Dion on Alvin Harper and double team Michael Irvin, and that worked out because Dion shut down Alvin Harper and Eric Davis, and I believe it was with more thanks. I'm not mistaken, shut down Michael Irvin.
Well, and that's I mean that defense there just wasn't getting around them. That was a really good defense back in the day when you could actually hit people,
Yep.
and it's like where are you going with the ball, because shoot, our defensive backs were so good, and I'm talking, Dion Prime Time, Eric Davis, Merton Hanks, and Tim McDonald. That when the other team would roll out a third wide receiver, we wouldn't even bring in a nickel. Merton Hanks would just walk on up to the line, and we'd have one-on-one coverage on the corners and Tim McDonald deep.
Yep.
Which one was the wide receiver for the Cowboys? And I don't want to put shine on anybody, put anybody down here, but which one? I want to say it was Michael Irvin. Who was it, his neck that got broken or his back that got broken? One of the wide receivers got carted off, and I think they ended their career that way. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I know it wasn't Alvin Harper because he left the Cowboys and signed with another team. But I don't think it was Michael Irvin.
Nope. I don't think so either.
I know it happened. I know it happened in the 90s, if I'm correct, because that was when I had heard about it. I thought it was Michael Irvin, but I know he also had a problem with his nose. You know that, but Emmitt Smith, he moved on to the Cardinals, so I know it wasn't Emmitt Smith. I'll look it up. I'll figure it out. But that once he left the team, I think it was Emmitt Smith, not Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. I think once his injury happened, I think the Cowboys changed dynamically there after that. Troy Aikman didn't last much longer after that either, if I'm correct. What's you guys' thoughts on Troy Aikman? Was he a good quarterback, or if he would have been on a different team other than Dallas, you think he still would have won the Super Bowls he did?
I honestly don't think so, because the team that was around him, they had a really good offensive line, and you had Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, Emmitt Smith, and who was that? They had a tight end. Was it Novacek? Who was their tight end back then?
Oh, I don't know.
Who was it? What? Tight end? I think it was Novacek.
I should remember this because I remember watching all the games, and I was like, those 3 NFC championships games that were frustrating. Yeah, Jay Novacek.
So it was Irvin. Irvin did not play after again that season. He was subsequently diagnosed with cervical spine scoliosis after being advised that he was at higher risk of an injury if he suffered another blow to the neck or head. Irvin announced his retirement in May 2000.
Okay.
I remember he got hurt and he had to stop playing. I just couldn't remember if it was him or not. I think it was their O-line. I'm not going to say Aikman wasn't a good quarterback, but I think it was their O-line. You could have you put Steve Young over there. You could put almost any quarterback over there, and they would have done good. Some of those teams in the 90s were really stacked, with like really good quarterbacks. Jim Kelly, Dan Marino. So getting really excited, getting closer to preseason. You guys got any plans for the Raider game?
Not me.
Watch it if they show it. That's pretty much my only plans.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering. I'm wondering if they're actually gonna show it.
Yeah, usually they show it over here. I'm in Stockton. I'm not that far from the bay, so I get to usually see it. It's on our local channels most of the time. So I am getting a little irked though. All these channels having different games and stuff. It would be nice if they could just have it in one spot. I thought that's what they were trying to do with the NFL Network when it first started, and then it seems like ESPN still had Monday Night Football, which was fine, and NBC had Sunday Night Football, which was fun. But then they just now what Amazon and this is guys. I don't know. I thought cable was like the thing of the past, but now it's like you have to pay for like every other streaming service, and it's the same price as cable.
Yeah.
Well, my plans are is taking Tony and the girls over to Deanna's. We're gonna have a barbecue over there. I get to help barbecue, so that'll be fun, and it'll be Raider Niner barbecue. A lot of fun, a lot of family there, and yeah, I'm still figuring out what kind of meat I want to take over there because I want to get a nice piece of. I don't know if it's gonna be tri-tip or something, but I want to take something over there to barbecue. I like cooking tri-tips. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it at home.
Oh, real quick, David, if you don't mind, I got a shout out for 49er Minded. So
Go for it.
49er Minded, if you guys know, he's a good friend of the channel, good friend of all of us here. Bashar, great guy. He's a 49er Faithful. He has just eclipsed 1,000 subscribers. So shout out to Bashar, 49er Minded.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, please go check him out and subscribe. He'll take every one. He's got a good panel and could call. He does all kinds of different types of shows. So, definitely check him out. He does stuff with music, stuff with wrestling, stuff with football. And then he has people like me on sometimes, or, Corey and, David. So it's a lot of fun.
Yep. Um, let's see. Um, okay, if the 49ers did decide to trade Trey Lance, what team do you think they would trade him to? What would be a good fit for him?
A good fit.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, I think with the weapons they have and the team they have, the Washington Commanders. I mean, that's just my opinion. That they have a decent O line. They're pretty good. They have some good, weapons around them. Ron Riviera, I honestly think he's a solid coach. And now their dumpster fire owner is gone. So, that organization is probably going to be going through some changes.
That's who I think too. The Washington Commanders. What about you, Brian?
I think the Commanders would be a good fit for him. I think the Texans would be a good fit for him. I see him being a good fit in Minnesota or possibly Green
Ooh,
Bay.
didn't think of Minnesota.
Just because of the situation, like again, their quarterback might be there next year. They might not be there next year, but if I'm not saying trade him, but I'm just starting thinking what would be a good place for him to go to. I I think the Raiders could be a really good place for him to go to. Honestly, I think he could play really good there. He's got Devontae Adams. I mean, wow, you think about it, good running back. So that could be a really good place for him. And I think the Falcons.
Uh, okay, without me naming a team, who made this quote? Keep your my coach out of your name. out of your
Keep
mouth.
my coach. Keep my coach out of your mouth.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta think. I think I've heard. I've heard that. I know I've heard that. Yeah, I know for a fact I've heard that.
Right.
I've heard it. I just can't think of it.
Anyone in the panel heard this? I mean, not panel
Anyone in
group
the
chat.
chat? Anyone in the chat?
Corey, I give up. I'm trying to think, and I don't think I'm going to get this one.
Mr. Aaron Rodgers said it. Because Denver now coach what's his name? What's Denver coach name now?
Who's what's that now? Denver Broncos coach
Yeah,
Sean Payton.
yeah. Sean Payton said something about Hackett, and they asked Aaron Rodgers about it. He said, "Keep your keep my coach out of your don't say my out of your mouth."
I'm laughing at Bebop. Will Smith.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Damon
yeah, it
Lewis
was
said it
Karen
too.
Rogers, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
49er Ultimate Report.
Well, he has a no. No, I like the start of the comment because it's spitting facts.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I don't want to see him go anywhere. But if you turn on like ESPN, they're saying he's getting traded. You listen to national reporters, they say he's getting traded. But then if you listen to like 49er people, more like Grant Cohn or KBNR, not so much KBNR, but 95 point what 95.7, I think that is. They're not saying trade him. Kruger, he said he thought he could get traded. He's not saying trade him. He's saying it would be a bad thing if they traded him. Grant's definitely not saying trade him. Grant's really upset. It sounds like if they do trade him. A lot of these guys, a lot of the 49er content creators, they're not saying trade Lance. So, and I don't think if we traded him this year, it'd be really beneficial for us or him either. I think we'd take a big cap hit. If I'm correct, I think it's like 5 million. I think it's like he's supposed to get like 14 something million this year, and then we'd take like a dead cap hit of like 5 million or almost 6 million. So don't quote me on the numbers. Go to Jason Hurley, 49erscap.com. He's got the numbers. But yeah, I don't see it.
when it comes down to it, the Rams. I don't think the Rams can afford him. I don't think they have the cap space.
No.
You know, they're stuck with who they got. They couldn't even afford to keep the lights on during their draft party. Seriously, the lights went out.
Yep.
But they didn't even have a draft pick. They were just having a party on day one. And, they probably had to call the Chargers and say, hey, you guys mind picking this up?
um. Let's see. Oh boy. I had something just in mind, and that went out the back door. Corey, what was it? Um, solid as a rock. Uh,
Ooh, 20 million dead money? Yeah, Trey Lance ain't going anywhere.
No.
No.
And at this point, we if we trade him, we're not gonna get what we want for him or anywhere near the capital. I mean, I don't even if he played all last year, I don't think we would have got the capital for him. I don't think the only way you would have been able to recover what we've given for him is if he would have won the Super Bowl and we would have said, okay, we're trading him. And that wouldn't have happened. You're not going to trade a quarterback after he wins the Super Bowl.
That's a fact. Well, we've been on for an hour, guys. You guys have anything else you want to touch on before we go?
Great
What
stream. A lot of
what
fun.
you got going on this week? I mean, the
Uh,
Copeland McNiner show sounds like we got one going on tomorrow night. That's for sure.
yeah. Yeah, we'll go on a little bit later tomorrow night, a little bit, a couple minutes after 8, probably, because I think one of our guests is going to be coming in after that. He might be coming in hot. You never know. Sometimes people are busy people, and you know. So we'll definitely have a chair, and we'll definitely reach out and see if we can get our other co-host, because sometimes you got to have a backup just in case. And I think both of them confirmed, so I think we can get both of them on. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's what I got going on for right now. Later in the week, we'll go, go around the table. And Corey,
Well, Thursday I am doing the trivia because my arm is feeling good, and so as I worried about the procedure, how this left arm was gonna be feeling, but it went well. So now I'm gonna be doing my trivia. So you 40 people that think y'all know your 49ers, come test your knowledge. Come see what you know. Are you a true 49 fan? Are you a diehard 49er fan? Or are you a fair weather 49er fan? Do you need to give up your fan card? So come Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central time, 10
Mountain Standard Time. Sorry.
p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern time, and see and test your knowledge.
and don't let that scare you away either, because it's a fun game. And even if you're more or less, someone who likes to watch the game or just root for the team, come on, bring your mom, bring anyone who's a faithful. Uh, Put your jersey on, whatever, your hat, sit down, listen to the show. And if you want to guess, put your answers in the chat, and Corey will record them. It's a lot of fun.
All right, and with that, it's go Niners and F the Lambs. Peace out, everybody.
Go 49ers and F to all other teams.
Thanks for coming.